We are sailing TIKKI, a Danish boat who is sailing around the world. On board we are Flemming, the captain, Elisabeth and Anton, who just turned 3 years old. We departed Denmark in July and has now reached Portugal. In this episode we explore Cascais and Lissabon for a few days, then we prepare the boat and do the provisioning before we set sails towards Porto Santo. It is Anton and I's first long sail. We will be on the water for 3 to 4 days, and just saying it fills me with anxiety. Also because it turned into a passage that we will never forget. Cascais is the Portuguesian can. The marina is expensive, the most expensive we have visited so far. We paid 95 euros per day, and that was in high season. All the marinas around Lisbon were full, so that's why we chose to stay here. The parks around the marina were beautiful and had lots of playgrounds, so that's where we spent most of the time. We have a new guest on board, Liv, and the first day we took the train into Lisbon. It is really cheap and easy. The train takes around 30 minutes and costs 5 euros. We didn't have any specific plans, just a tour around the city to sense the atmosphere.
We are on our way to the center of Lisbon. We are our boat is in Cascais, so that's about 30 minutes outside Lisbon, and we are in the train. And we're just gonna go around the city today, just to explore. We don't really have any plans, just to feel the atmosphere, maybe have some lunch somewhere, and just have a look around the city. Sightseeing in Lisbon.
Yeah,
Just arrived
and
with the train.
got the recommendation to turn right just after getting out of the train station.
Yes.
So now we are at a famous arc that is called, we just Google what it's called.
Arco da Rua Augusta.
That should be one of the monuments of Lisbon. It is rather pretty, and it's a nice square here.
Yes, and now we'll just walk up the streets, up into the center of the city.
And we need to find some lunch before Anton wakes up. I think.
We need to eat.
Lisbon is the capital of Portugal and is known for its colorful buildings, sunny weather and great nightlife. It is one of the oldest cities of the old continent, at least 2700 years old, which makes it the oldest city in Western Europe. The most famous landmark of Lisbon is the Belém Tower, and the famous dish in Lisbon is named after it. We were chasing the famous trams, and at first we thought we had caught one and paid 5 euros per person. It proved to be a 5-minute trip just up to the end of the road. We could have easily walked that way, but the view from up there and out over the city was great. And Anton and I finally got one of the pineapple drinks we had chased since we arrived, and it was absolutely amazing. We had a smoothie that he made from the pineapple and fresh strawberries.
quite long, but as you can see. But supposedly you get to see all the tourist places if you take this train. So we'll see how much we get to see of Lisbon in this.
When we finally got on the tram 28 after we had waited in line for 45 minutes, we stopped after what felt like 30 seconds. There was a car that had parked right on the track, and there's just nothing that the driver can do than wait and honk in his horn. And oh, he did honk for almost 30 minutes before the car owner finally arrived and moved his car out of the way. And then we finally got our ride in the famous tram 28. When we got home, we ended the day with a nice meal in the cockpit and was already planning the next day, where we went to the zoo in Lissabon together with the crews from Johanna and Mary. The ladies with all the blonde Scandinavian boys. And for once I took the lead on finding the way to the zoo. That did not go well, and we ended up spending more than 2 hours before we arrived. I take the blame for that one.
We decided to go to the zoo here in Lisbon today. We are actually 3 boats that are in here. Johanna and Proud Mary and us, and then all the children. So it's really nice. 5 Scandinavian boys on a journey in the zoo here in Lisbon. And it's actually nice. We can go here in the cable cars and see all the animals. Ja, du skal kigge på efter dyrene, se om du kan finde nogen. And yeah, just enjoying our time here.
This was the last day of sightseeing, because the next day we were starting to prepare for the 3 to 4 day passage to Porto Santo and the first real sail out in the Atlantic Ocean.
We are leaving for Madeira tomorrow, and we are doing the provisioning today. This is actually the first time that me and Anton will go on a longer passage, so this is also the first time that we are going to try this provisioning, and this takes some time, and we're really excited for the trip tomorrow, also a little bit anxious, but I think it will be okay. But now at least we have all the food ready, and we just need to go back and make all the dinners, and then we'll be ready for the trip. So we just came back from the supermarket. We have been buying a lot of stuff for the next 3 days. We're leaving tomorrow morning early, and so now we just need to prepare some dinners for the next couple of days, so in case we deal with seasickness and stuff, we don't have to stand and make dinner. We can just heat pre-made dinner up. So we're gonna start. We have a Thai dinner and a spaghetti bolognese we want to make, and some pancakes and some rye bread, and so we will be busy this afternoon. And we also defrosted all the freezers, so they're ready to get all the food stuff in. So it's nice. It's been quite a hectic morning, but it took us approximately 3 hours to do this, and then we had to take a taxi to get here. They actually had a delivery service, but we were just too late, so they couldn't deliver it today. So we took a taxi and now we're here. It's nice. We just left Cascais and are now going for a 3 or 4 day passage to Porto Santo, and then afterwards Madeira. It's Anton and I's first
long passage, or longer than 36 hours. So this is quite interesting. I've been taking Seasickness this morning, and we'll do it every 8 hours, just to hopefully make sure that I will be alright, and then we will see how Anton will manage, but hopefully he'll be okay and won't get seasick. The weather forecast says that we are gonna have a good wind all the way. Right now there's not too much wind, but hopefully it will change and we can get a good sail or passage. As soon as we came out of shelter of Portugal, the wind hit like crazy, and unfortunately the seasickness did as well. Anton and Liv were the two that were troubled the most, and concerning Anton, he actually threw up non-stop for 60 hours. To be honest, I was challenged and stressed out about his condition. The seasickness pills helped me so that I was capable of taking care of him. He got weaker and weaker, and in the end he was just laying down all the time.
Second, and wind speed around 7 to 9 knots. So I guess if we can keep this, if we keep up with the speed, it'll probably only be short of 3 days passage. We're 3 boats on the way. Marina, still in the house, and yeah, it's almost getting evening here. It's getting dark. The crew is almost tucked in. Anton has been a little bit seasick. Anton has been a lot seasick. He's been thrown like 3 or 4 times, and Liv a few times as well. So actually, me and Elisabeth are the ones that are doing good on this trip so far. On the last day of our stint to Madeira. It's supposed to be quite bad weather, but hasn't yet seen that, and might just be in front of that weather system. Anton has not been seasick today yet, but it's also just 9:30, so we'll see. We should be at Porto Santo tomorrow morning around 7-8 o'clock, something like that, and probably going to find us a nice anchorage spot there.
On day 3, when he started throwing up every 15 minutes, I completely broke down and said this was enough, that we were never doing this again. And I'm not lying when I say that he completely stopped his vomiting after that. And the last 24 hours of the passage he was still weak, but he was okay and slowly got better and more energetic. When I think back on the passage today, I'm proud of the way we managed to get through it all. and overall it was a nice passage sailing-wise with good wind and speed, and we were in touch with Ohana all the way over the VHF and actually also had a little competition going. And we must admit that we lost because we decided to motor the last 2 hours.
Lanohoy, first sight of land for 3 days now. The islands of Porto Santo. We are there in approximately 1.5 hours. We have been motoring just the last couple of hours, otherwise we have been sailing all the way. It is a little bit wavy for motoring though, but we're so much looking forward getting into the island to explore it, and also to have some solid ground under our feet. There's been a lot of seasickness on the crew on this trip, especially Anton has been seasick a lot. So everyone looking forward to get in there.
The feeling when you see land after so many hours at sea is amazing, and the fact that we had been out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean was quite surreal. But we did it. It was not without tears and frustration from my part, but we got through it, and Anton got better as soon as we hit land. He was running around again as his normal self. In the next episode we explore Porto Santo, an island with raw beautiful nature and amazing beaches. And finally the water had a temperature where it felt okay to jump in.
Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That will mean a lot to us. And you can also follow us on Instagram. Thank you and bye!